And it turns out that she was now 3 or 4 weeks into her pregnancy, did not know it, but her shopping patterns had changed so subtly. She went for things that weren't scented, things like that. The algorithm picked up on it, boom, printed out these coupons thinking, hey, this is relevant without the political implications. She came home, got in trouble with her parents, lawsuit continued, but I think this ended up being a great case study in a business school. Now I bring this up because that was a while ago. And what they do now is the reason why those receipts are so long is they're trying to cover the lead. So half those things aren't relevant to you because they don't want you to know how dialed in they are on everything you're about to make. So you have free will, but you're still creatures of habit. Wow. And so, yes, it is behind, but that's only for certain companies. It's not every company. But yeah, they're using it. They've been using techniques, not all of them, for years and years and years.
Awesome. I'd say we have time for one more question. So I'll come up, right here.
Bill Robertson from the Hill School, Pottstown, Pennsylvania. We tend to focus a lot on the front end and forget about this thing called stewardship, which I feel is the forgotten piece of advancement. And I wonder if you feel like this could be something that could be applied to the stewardship process, because I feel like so few offices do it really well. I think we do it really well at the Hill School, and I just wonder how it could be applied in that capacity.
So I want to make sure the panel has something to say, but I just want to say one thing. How many people actually find you have to fight for investment in stewardship because it doesn't directly bring in money? Yeah? Okay. So that's where this can help because of automation, things like that, where you can scale things out for lower cost, because I know people, and rightfully so, but they always attach budget to dollars in the door or alums that are giving. So,
Madeline, did you see anything from the Obama campaign in terms of thanking donors or anything that you can envision?
I'm not sure that I know the definition of stewardship.
Oh, well, stewardship is quite simply thanking your donors.
Everything that happens after the gift.
Yeah.
That wasn't a part that I was involved in at the Obama campaign. And I think, essentially what would happen after you gave a gift is they would say, you were a person who gave a $15 gift, well, next time we'll ask you for $30.
That's not stewardship.
You're a person who gave a $100 gift, next time it's $200. Okay, so that was the main thing that happened there. But that's an enterprise that had a very short timeline, right? And so, right, the way that you think about sort of maintaining relationships is actually very different. I think it's actually a deficiency of political campaigns is they essentially just shut down at the end of the campaign, whereas right, the people persist. So it's actually a huge problem.
Yeah, I go back to the answer of relevancy. I think relevancy can help you give a thank you that is meaningful to that person, as opposed to receiving a thank you letter inviting you to meet with such and such person that you probably think that everybody gets. Instead, it can be something that's very specific to the donor and more relevant in terms of the content. And so I think relevancy is maybe an answer to your question, but I don't know.
Terrific. Maybe one more question. I saw another hand up in the back. Right back there, right by the camera.
Hi, I'm from Ithaca College, although I used to be at Cornell. I'm just wondering, it seems like the line is constantly moving incrementally in terms of the either creepiness factor or privacy factor, what we're willing to put up with for more convenience. And I'm wondering if you're starting to see any indications of are people just gradually adapting to this, or are you starting to see some pretty clear patterns in terms of what people don't like to see happen to them in this space?
Andy, can you take
I figured I'd get put on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely say there's a line, and there's definitely generational differences. I think the freedom of information that younger graduates have, or the sense of that this information is just public, is very different than, say, my generation and the sense of needing to have complete privacy. So I don't know if it's a line that's moving, but certainly we see generational differences in the willingness to provide that information. But I do go back to sort of, I think, the sort of doctor example or inspecting email. By having a computer do that, it personally makes me more comfortable about having that computer do that as opposed to a human, and I don't know the intent behind that human and whether that's nefarious or not. So that's very debatable and it's very subjective, but certainly generational differences.
We could have a whole panel on that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a big...
Awesome. Well, approaching noon on the dot, I just want to thank Madeline Udell, Andy Monroe, and Michael Greenberg so much for spending the last hour with us. Just some logistics. Lunch is right outside in the hallway, and we will just aim to be back inside and seated by 12:25, which is when Adam Martell from Gravity will give our lunchtime keynote address. So thank you again for being here with us.